Hey everyone. Over the last several weeks, we learned of a few jobs in the aviation field. For the final project, the job that I chose was UAS operator, or also known as an unmanned aircraft systems operator. According to the official US Army website, an unmanned aircraft system operator is a remote pilot of unmanned observation aircraft, also known as military drones or UAVs, which are unmanned aerial vehicles that gather intelligence used in operational tactics. It is a position open to those as an entry level position for the enlisted active duty and National Guard members. There are also civilian positions outside of the Army. Because there are two ways to be employed as a UAS operator, the pay varies whether the person is a civilian or an enlisted soldier. For the Army, those who want to serve must first take the Armed Forces Vocational Aptitude Battery Test. Generally, applicants are required to have experience and an FAA private pilot's license. This was a position that after research I found myself interested in. One of the interesting things that I learned from its job duties is that they are often required to prepare maps, charts, and intelligence reports. Something else that I thought was important to reference was that the experience one gains from this position can prepare them for a long-term career with both the CAA and the NSA. A common question when researching the industry is what is the difference between an UAV and an UAS? A more appropriate term for a drone is a UAV and UAS. A UAV is defined as an unmanned aerial vehicle and differs from a UAS in one major way. UAV and UAS are two different things. The definition of a drone and UAV are very similar. However, some may argue that a UAV is more advanced than a drone that is specifically used for shooting video. A more specific term for the boom in the recreational drones would be a quadcopter. Job duties include conducting air reconnaissance, surveillance, target acquisition, planning and analyzing flight missions, performing pre-flight, in-flight, and post-flight checks and procedures, launching and recovering the airframes from runways, and performing maintenance on communication equipment, power sources, light and heavy wheel vehicles, and crane operations. Requirements to become an UAS Army operator for those that want to serve is first to take the Armed Forces Service Vocational Aptitude Battery Test. A series of tests that helps you better understand your strengths and identify which Army jobs are best for you, and required score on surveillance and communications of 102. As with any other job training, the training for unmanned aircraft systems operator requires 10 weeks of basic combat training and then over 23 weeks of advanced individual training with the on-the-job instruction. Part of this time is spent in the classroom and in the field. Some of the skills you'll learn on your way to becoming an elite drone pilot or operator include performing intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance simulation missions, preparing maps, charts, and intelligence reports, analyzing aerial photographs, using computer systems, and some helpful skills learned include interest in remote radio control vehicles, organize information and study its meaning, and to think and write clearly and pay a lot of attention to detail. As a commercial pilot, I myself was able to obtain the UAS license at no additional cost or training. A lot of the training that we do as airplane pilots basically transfers over everything from knowledge of the regulations to the airspace. It's very helpful, so it just basically transferred from one place to the other, and it met all the requirements. Now that basically allows me to commercially work as a drone operator and record videos and charge for the services. Anybody can go and buy a regular drone and utilize it, but they're not legally allowed to charge any money for it unless they're licensed. And I believe it plays a big role in the safety factor to get the license because it teaches the average person about the airspaces and where they can and cannot fly these drones safely. Obviously, there's a always something on the news about a drone getting too close to an airplane or a helicopter striking a drone. But anyways, that is it. Thank you very much for your time and have a good one.